You want the truth? Today felt like one of those rare Sundays when the red and gold remind the entire league that even bruised and patched together, this team can still flip a game with grit, timing, and a little bit of chaos. The opening punch from New York stung, sure, but the answer was fast, precise, and loud enough to wake up Levi's. There's a record that fell, a trade rumor that just got real, a backup quarterback who refuses to blink, and a new face in the pass rush room who might change how offenses block us on third down. You won't believe how these threads connect, so sit back, hit that like, and let's chop this up like true 49ers faithful, because what happened today says a lot about tomorrow. The Giants walked the ball down the field and scored, and that old fear crept in. Here we go again. But then the offense laced up, slowed the tempo, and hit back with a 12-play response that bled the clock and settled everybody's nerves. Mac Jones went surgical out of the gate, crisp and on time, letting the run game set the table and then stabbing the soft spots. Christian McCaffrey ripped his longest run of the season. Jordan Watkins pulled down a contested ball he absolutely needed, and the sideline energy shifted. On defense, rookies and mid-tier guys kept stacking hustle plays. Upton Stout knifed in for a tackle for loss. D. Winters chased down a sideline stop to force a 3-and-out, and that tone carried. Back on offense, Jones found Kyle Juszczyk to start another march. McCaffrey churned 20 more yards. Brian Robinson Jr. hammered a 16-yarder, and Kendrick Bourne flashed with a 21-yard catch that felt like a he's back moment. Then the play that unlocks the whole thing. 3rd and 5. Jawan Jennings sells the release, snaps back on a return route, and wins to the front pylon. Touchdown, 14-7, and you could feel New York's composure wobble. Credit the crowd too. The Giants gifted us pre-snap mistakes, and that sound matters. Even when a stalled series forced the first punt, Thomas Morstead absolutely dotted one inside the 10, flipping field position the way veteran specialists do in November. That matters when your defense is settling in, and yes, he's our punter now, no debate there. After the half, Kyle Shanahan tried a few wrinkles that didn't quite sing. Toss here, jet to George Kittle there, but the spacing was good enough to set up Eddie Pinheiro for 33, and he drilled it just like he hit from 54 earlier. The man's been steady since he arrived. The Giants answered with a tricky sequence. Rookie Jackson Dart scrambled. We got tagged with a roughness flag that looked clean, and suddenly it's 1st and goal. The defense bowed up and held to 3. That's the difference between a big boy win and a fourth quarter coin flip. Here's where a November 49ers identity started to show. Remember when we said this team would need to win games by scoring more than 4 touchdowns while the defense gets healthy? That 9-play, 76-yard drive is the blueprint. Only 1 third down. Robinson banging for 5, then 10, then 18, and into the paint like he forgot he was RB2 and decided to become a finisher. If you didn't watch him in Washington, he's built for this weather and this calendar. And then came the run back. Robinson popping a 40-yard kick return to reclaim momentum. The final dagger, McCaffrey out of the backfield on a wheel that turned into his longest reception of the year, and then the goal line punch to slam the door. On defense, Sam Okwainonu grabbed his 2nd sack of the season. Renardo Green blanketed a 3rd down, and the pass rush, patched together with tape and spite, found just enough gas to force punts when it mattered. We can talk numbers here because they tell a story. McCaffrey finished with 173 scrimmage yards and 2 scores, and with that combo of a rushing and a receiving touchdown in the same game for the 16th time in his career, he passed Marshall Faulk for the most in NFL history. That is not just a stat, that's legacy creeping into the conversation, and it happened in our jersey. And yeah, Mac Jones, 19 for 24, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns before the break, and a bloody nose moment that will live nicely in a November montage. There's a reason he signed here, and a reason he keeps answering when Brock Purdy's toe won't let him go. He came to be steady when chaos hits, and that's exactly what he's been. Now zoom out, because today's tape lives next to a rumor that went from daydream to uh-oh, call your cap guy. Fox's Jay Glazer said the Bengals have softened their stance on trading Trey Hendrickson. A week ago, the answer was hard no. Today, it's maybe if the price is right. You know what that means when your defensive coordinator is Robert Saleh again, and your pass rush room is held together by rehab schedules. The 49ers have to at least kick the tires. If you can add one of the league's most consistent pressure generators to a rotation that wants to unleash Bryce Huff when he's back, slide Keon White as the movable chess piece, and lean on Jordan Elliott's dirty work inside, you do it. Windows are short. This roster has been built to win now, even if injuries have tried to knock the calendar out of our hands. Let's talk Keon White, because that wasn't a rumor. That happened. John Lynch paid a late pick tax, brought him over from New England, and suddenly you see why this front office chases traits. He's long, he's twitchy, and he converts speed to power in a way that forces coordinators to slide protection the wrong way once or twice a game. White doesn't have to be Superman here. He needs to be disruptive enough to buy the back end an extra half beat and let a blitz hit home. Saleh likes those multiple front simulated pressure looks that cause hesitation at the snap. White's first step lets you do that without sending the house, and when Huff returns, you can build a speed package that makes 3rd and 7 feel like 3rd and 12. That's how you survive while the big names heal up. About that Hendrickson chatter, there are layers. Number one, the Bengals didn't want to move him. Then the standings changed, the board changed, and the phones heated up. Glazer reports calls are being taken, which is code for someone blinked. Add in the earlier undercurrent, contract noise, frustration, and a front office juggling big-ticket receivers, and you can connect the dots. The cost won't be tiny, and you don't mortgage the future out of panic, but pairing Hendrickson with this scheme, even for a stretch run, drags offenses into honest football. No more sliding all help one direction. No more chip and release without paying for it. That's why smart contenders lurk at the deadline. You're not buying a name, you're buying leverage on 3rd down in January. Back to the offense, because today featured exactly the mix this team needs, while the WR room remains a week-to-week puzzle. Sky Moore is giving you functionality. Motion leverage, the screens that become 8 yards instead of 3, and a punt return that flipped the field in a tight stretch. Bourne looks like he never stopped clicking with this building. Jennings remains the 3rd down heartbeat. He wins ugly routes beautifully. And when McCaffrey is the gravity well he was today, the passing menu opens. The throwback to Juszczyk early was a signal. If you're going to sell out to stop the perimeter run, we'll leak a fullback into your blind spot and let him plod you to death with 6-yard chunks. That's Shanahan ball. Make you wrong more than we need to be right. As Purdy inches back, Jones keeps stacking clean pockets with quick decisions, the kind that keep you on schedule when the run game is getting 4 a clip instead of 6. The faithful can love both truths. Purdy is QB1 when he's truly ready, and Jones is doing the job that keeps our season in the race. Special teams deserve a nod because this is the time of year when 1 hidden yard becomes 2 points in the 4th quarter. Morstead's ability to put the ball on a postage stamp changes how Saleh calls the next series. You don't have to bring heat if the offense is backed up with a nervous cadence. Pinero's range alters your red zone calculus. If it's 4th and 5 from the 36 in bad wind, you don't have to force a concept your quarterback hates. That steadiness is new look Niners, and it matters. Defense? It's an attitude while the stars heal. Stout is chippy. He triggers downhill like a safety. Renardo Green's recovery speed erases one mistake a drive. Tatum Bethune is all motor and angles. He's not guessing. He's diagnosing and arriving angry. Jordan Elliott isn't flashy, but he eats space, keeps linebackers clean, and lets the games be won on 2nd and 8 instead of 2nd and 4. This is the glue phase of the year. You keep the explosives in front, make the tackle, trust Pinero and Morstead to handle the margins, and let McCaffrey and Jones live in the efficient middle 8. It's not the Hollywood version of 49ers defense, but it's how you hold water until the cavalry returns. And the cavalry? Saleh's presence is felt. The communication is sharper, disguise looks tighter, and you can see the plan forming for December football when the rotation is whole again. There's one more thread from today that you can't coach into existence: resolve. Jones took a shot to the face, came up bleeding, and kept the footwork quiet. That kind of moment plays in a locker room. You pair that with McCaffrey's relentless finishes, with Robinson lowering pads in the 4th, with Jennings bodying a corner at the pylon, and the message gets simple. This team is not waiting for a doctor's note to start playing playoff football. That's what had Levi's buzzing again. And that's why the Hendrickson question is so loud today. Good locker rooms deserve front offices that push chips when the math says go. So where does that leave us rolling into the deadline? The 49ers just handled business, set a tone, and gave the personnel department a clean lane to be aggressive without desperation. If a true closer on the edge becomes attainable, you chase it. If the price is silly, you trust the plan. White's integration, Saleh's pressure packages, and a schedule that features winnable leverage games. Either way, this win wasn't a mirage. It was a blueprint. Own special teams, win field position, feed your superstar and ask your quarterback to be precise. It won today. It travels in January. Your turn, Niner gang. If you're in John Lynch's chair, do you pay up for Trey Hendrickson to supercharge this pass rush, or do you roll with Keon White's upside and bet on health? Who's the more important addition for January football? A closer off the edge or the next chain mover at wideout? Drop your take below, smash the like if you felt that Levi's surge, subscribe if you're riding with us through the deadline, and share this with someone who swore this season was over 2 weeks ago. Faithful to the Bay, see you in the comments.